Hey everybody, welcome back to Everything's Plastic Toy Reviews. Today we have another Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origins action figure review, and this is Baroness. Recently picked up a few of these guys on clearance. You can see the tag here. And man, this package has seen better days. It's taped up, it's stapled. This package is a mess. Probably was a damaged or a return or something like that. Hopefully the figure inside is in good condition. So let's take a quick look at packaging. Not much to see with these. A little picture on the back here. They're actually spring loaded. You twist them and they pop back, which is pretty cool. But other than that, man, it's not much else to see with packaging. So I'll be right back with this one out of the package so we can get a close look at Baroness. Alright, so we have this figure out of the package. She comes with 3 accessories. 2 of these Cobra knives, Cobra handle knives. Pretty cool detail on the handles. I think that's pretty awesome. I think I'm going to try to do customs, and I think I'm going to start with these figures. I mean, they're cheap figures anyway, so if I mess them up, it's not too bad. Plus, they're always on clearance at our local Walmarts, and relatively easy to find. We have this pretty cool rifle as well. A lot of detail on this one. But yeah, pretty cool design on this one overall. I think it's a badass looking gun. Alright, let's get a closer look at Baroness. So with a classified series, obviously your glasses are a separate part. This here is all part of the mold. Our glasses are actually painted on. Paint is relatively clean. We do see some layering in her hair. Overall, our costume is not too bad. We do see some detail in the overall sculpt. Recently did a review on Scarlet, and the paint application on that one was pretty bad. Red Ninja, Snake Eyes, and Storm Shadow application on the 3 of those were pretty good as well. So Scarlet being the only one with any real paint issues. See some pretty cool detail for a basic figure. That pretty much wraps up a closer look. Let's go over articulation. So I don't know for sure. Like I said, I bought this one at Walmart. Package was already open and damaged. But as of right now, the head on this one, I don't know if it's glued on or if there's 0 articulation. So I think my head may be glued on. The arms comes up that far. Goes all the way around. There's single jointed pinless elbows, which go 90 degrees. And there's a rotation. No wrist articulation or anything like that. So she doesn't have a ab crunch or ball joint at the torso, but she does come with this spring loaded action. So you can rotate this and basically set it whatever way you want it. So I think that's pretty cool. Her legs do come out to a complete split. Comes forward this far, back this far. If for some reason you need a full rotation, there is a full rotation there as well. Her knees are single jointed and they bend at 90 degrees, and there's a rotation as well. No boot cut and no articulation at the feet. So not a whole lot of articulation to this toy line, but I mean, it's a basic figure and we don't usually get much articulation with basic figures anyways. All these figures pretty much have the same articulation, with the exception of the head. I think the head should be rotating, so there's a good chance that this one was actually broken, glued, and brought back to Walmart. So let's pop some accessories in her hands, which these look pretty cool, man. I'm pretty impressed with the design on these. These knives pop in pretty easily, unless you're behind the camera. If you're behind the camera, everything gets difficult because you can't really see what you're doing. But yeah, this is what she looks like with both knives in her hands. One of the selling points for these, obviously, is G.I. Joe, but another selling point for these is the spring-loaded action. So she can slice and dice, chop and stab, whatever you want to do. But yeah, looks pretty awesome. I like the knives. And let's take these out and put one in her hand. Alright, so here she is with the rifle in her hand, which I'm not going to lie, takes a little bit of effort to get this one in. Her hands are really hard, stiff plastic, so the rifle itself or the gun itself is soft plastic, so it takes a little bit of messing around to actually get it in our hands and make it fit right. Once it's in, it's nice and snug, it's not going anywhere. Personally, it's not the best design we've ever seen. I mean, you can probably get this one in some cool poses, but I think you guys get the point of what she looks like with her rifle in her hand. You can probably get her holding it like this, but without the rotation in the wrist, doesn't really fit in her hands well. Alright, for comparisons, we have a few other figures from this toy line. We have Snake Eyes, Scarlet, like I previously mentioned, we got Storm Shadow, and we got Red Ninja. So Baroness is on par with all these figures. They are pretty much all the same size. You guys can probably see what I mentioned earlier about Scarlet. All these here are pretty decent quality, but paint application, face sculpt, and everything else on Scarlet is definitely the worst figure out of the line. Overall, these basic figures are pretty decent figures for the price. We'll do one more comparison to one of the figures from the Classified series. So here we have a comparison to the G.I. Joe Classified Flint. We can see that these Classified figures are a fair bit bigger than the Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origins figures. Alright, so that pretty much wraps up our unboxing and figure review. Overall, I'm going to give this one a 8 out of 10. I think the accessories are pretty cool. Paint application on this one is pretty good. Like I said, the mold's pretty good for a basic figure. Overall articulation is pretty standard for any basic figure. You know what to expect out of these basic figures going into it anyways. You don't expect a whole lot. Obviously, they are far from the quality of classifieds. But for $12.99 or $14.99, whatever these are in Canada, and classified series being $34.99 or $33.99. Obviously the price difference is pretty dramatic, and you get what you pay for when it comes to action figures. So like I said, I think 8 out of 10 overall is a pretty decent score. Let me know in the comments below what you think of our review. Let me know what you think of my score of 8 out of 10. And if you guys had to rate this figure out of 10, what would you rate it? If you liked the review, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. And that subscribe button is there as well if you haven't subscribed to the channel already. As always, I want to thank you guys for taking the time out of your day to watch our reviews. And we hope to see you on the next one. So keep collecting and stay safe.